Hey everyone, I'm Mark,
And I'm Alex.
and this is Final Stop for Final Fantasy Talks. Welcome to Blitzball Part 8. We only probably have a couple more Blitzball episodes, so, this is kind of a thing that's coming to an end, man. It's a little sad, but, there's not that much content. I mean, heck, we're only in 8 mini
Yeah,
episodes here.
yeah. There's only so much to talk about when it comes to Blitzball. We've covered a lot. We're gonna keep covering everything that's left
Yeah,
at this
well, I
point.
won't imagine doing 8 episodes on any other Final Fantasy minigame. None of them would be able to even match this kind of content. All right, well, we're going to, as always, do our picks for our all-star game. So remember, we're kind of just saying levels 1 through 30. We're not even looking past that. You want to get games done. You want to just get prizes. You don't like Blitzball. What team are you putting together? So far, our teams are looking pretty strong. So I'm rolling with Wedge, Grav, and Zaltz. Alex, man, you got Xiaomi, Romp, and Miyu, and so we're going on. So I was thinking about this now. We both picked one forward. Are we kind of just both assuming we're going to be using Titus for the second? I mean, that's kind of like a gimme.
Yeah, it kind of is, but I think I'll choose somebody different just for fun.
Okay, interesting. I mean, here's the thing, I mean, Jet Shot 2 makes him invaluable, but I'll be honest, I
Exactly.
usually don't even use Jet Shot 2 the majority of the time unless the situation warrants it. It's always there. That's like one of the, we talk about techniques and using up slots and stuff. That's one that I will always at least just fill for Titus, but Sphere Shot, for the most part, is the one I use the majority of the time.
Yeah, and there are a bunch of forwards that actually have sphere shot or the ability to learn it. So
Yeah.
it's pretty good on its own.
I'm gonna go ahead and start us off here. My pick. I'm gonna pick a goalie. Now you picked Miyu, and I was looking at this, man. I was really looking at the goalies. Now we're saying we're only able to draft players essentially like through the Moonflow, so not even Guado Salami and on. So up to Miyu. That was kind of she was actually the last player. She's the cutoff. I don't know, man. I had an internal struggle for probably like 10 minutes. It was like Jamal, Miyu, Jamal, Miyu. I couldn't decide, and
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
it is tough. Now, here's the thing. I mean,
Yeah.
as far as goalies go and in this level range and what you can get, I would say Jamal and Minu probably the best two. The others, I mean, they're kind of close, but just in ways of just starting, catch and setting you off on a good foot. I mean, obviously Jamal's going to be the best there. 14 catch starting out, right? But we already discussed him. We know it's slow going. He doesn't get as high by level 30 as Miyu does, and he gets past about around level 10, so it's not like he even starts off that great. The thing for me was just super goalie, right? Jamal starts with
Yeah.
super goalie, and that is really helpful. I mean, even just on like keep a super goalie would be amazing if he started out with that.
Oh yeah, totally different situation, right? Versus just it compensates. It helps to compensate for bad catch.
Absolutely.
So when you really think about it, I mean, there are a whole bunch in the game that have that to start off, and even though they don't have very good catch, I mean, it can only go up. That's the nice thing about super goalie. It's not like you can get less than what your original catch is.
Yeah.
So whatever you do, even if you don't get a strong super goalie, RNG, you'll still get like 2, 3 extra catch every single time.
Yeah, guaranteed. And so it's very helpful. And so I was kind of going between that and Mew because Mew doesn't start out right. And thing is super goalie's not really a hard one to learn though. It's quite common among goalies. Most of them kind of all learn at once. And so honestly, man, long story short, I got to go with Mew as well. I mean, we at least finally selected one of the same players. Jamal was like, I was like, oh, I wanted to go with him, but just Miyu will pass him. At that point, she'll have super goalie also. 11 catch starting out is way better than keep it at 5, and not quite 14, but it's still great. It's not a bad stat.
Yeah.
And so, dude, she's the best goalie, I guess, is what we're agreeing on from levels 1 to 30.
Yeah, I mean, out of the ones that there are to choose from, there's not a huge amount either. But
True.
I agree. I mean, they're both really solid. I don't think you can go wrong with either.
Seriously.
But yeah, at the end of the day, just slight differences between the two. For my pick, gonna actually kind of follow up with the center, I think, this time.
Okay.
Yuri.
Ah, yes.
So she is, I think she's on the SS Winnow, if I'm not mistaken.
It's the one
Um,
between Kilika and Luca.
yes, so she's really good, man. I mean, this is one of my favorite players in the game, especially for center. I think aside from Nav Guado, starts off with really amazing techniques. So she starts off with Venom Pass, Nat Pass, Anti-Wither 2, Wither Pass 3, Anti-Wither,
Yeah.
and basically she's just an all-rounder. That's how I see her. Like level 1 starts off with 81 HP, 60 speed, 8 endurance, 8 attack, and 8 pass. Block is pretty low at 2,
Yeah,
and
Block's a little lower. And here's the thing: I'm looking at the character card now. I hope those listening to the Blitzballs. I mean, as I say, we got maybe one or two left. I mean, it's kind of a sad thing, right? But man, pull out these cards when we're talking about these players. Once Alex said Kyuri, I went there, man. I pulled up this card. I'm like, yeah, because dude, the pass really strong. I mean, that's one of her stats that's great. And again, with centers, pass is great because they typically don't have the best endurance. It looks like she's got decent endurance, but that's okay. You don't need to break through everyone. Just pass over them and apply
right.
apply that wither pass 3. You're withering them. That's
Yeah.
actually which I would rather have that, right? Kind of a player that's putting on status elements
Yeah.
on the other team. That's very helpful.
Aside from her speed, I think she's the best center.
And here's the thing, like we've talked about many times, these all-star teams, you could probably choose like 4 different players here and you would achieve the exact same result. I mean, there's
Yeah,
a
pretty much.
great amount of great centers and free agents and stuff. So, all right, well, we got 2 more choices. Here we go. We got forward slot and defenders, both of us, 1 forward and 1 defender next. So we're going to have to kind of brainstorm a little bit. Hope you guys are putting together some teams as well. That's really cool. I mean, if you leave comments on different, medias, Instagram or website stuff, that would be really cool just to hear. Because, man, I mean, you could take these so many different routes because, we play kind of the same way. We play very traditional, the kind of the one pass we've described it a million times. But I bet you other people play it a lot of different ways.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We're going to talk about some more techniques. We're going to focus kind of more just on shots. There are actually, especially after this episode, there's going to be like almost no techniques left, but we're going to get on shots. So ones we haven't really covered in detail. They're common ones. A lot of you probably know what they are, but first one we'll talk about sphere shot. We just kind of talked about Titus, right? I love using
Yeah.
sphere shot over jet shot. Jet shot's great. I would say jet shot is much more useful to you if you just don't really like blitzball and or aren't great at it, right? You kind of need like a backup thing to go. It knocks out 2 defenders. You don't even have to worry about that. If you're kind of more strategic, you like to enjoy a little bit more. Honestly, I think sphere shot would benefit you a little bit better. The description says it adds 0 to 10 to shoot if the player level is 1 to 19, 0 to 15 shoot if the level is 20 to 39, and 0 to 20 shoot if the level is 40 or more. First off, I didn't know that value actually extended. I mean, it's hard to
didn't
tell
know
when
that
it's just
either.
sitting there
Yeah.
randomizing, but yeah, I didn't know that.
I thought it just naturally scaled with your shoot, so it'd all be relative to how high your shoot was. Yeah, I did
Interesting.
not know that at all. One thing I do have to throw out too, right at the very beginning of the game, isn't it a sphere shot that's what Titus is doing right in the beginning and
Yeah,
Xander
yeah,
did,
it is.
remember?
Does it
So
outside of the water in that one. Yep, in the very first
yeah,
beginning. Yep.
it's the same thing as the sphere shot. But yeah, like you were saying, just it's kind of a high risk, high reward kind of shot. It is a lot easier just to use jet shot. You can use jet shot even if there's no defenders there.
Yeah, true.
It's always going to be the same amount of shoot. Plus, it gets rid of 2 possible defenders if they're there. Sphere shot is also one of my favorites.
Yeah, and sphere shot is probably one of the more surefire ways of scoring against Nimruk in the beginning, right? We talked about the nap route, just put him to sleep and then you can score on him from anyone. But the other way would probably be getting away with Titus with the sphere shot. You think about it, just level 1 instantly. Nimruk's at 18. Well, if you get a 10 additional shoot on top of Titus's 10, that's 20. You already got a pretty good chance of scoring. Granted, it's not always easy to get the highest number, and we joke about what's our strategy. I don't know. Give it like a second and then just click. I mean, there's no
Yeah, I
strategy with
mean,
it.
yeah, exactly. It's really hard to actually time that. I like to throw this on there as well because it takes less HP. And especially
Yep.
early on, that's a big thing for, like you said, trying to score against the Albed Sykes or something like that when you've only maybe got 2 to 3 shots per half. Sphere shot can be a nice way to maximize your shoot, and also I think it only costs about 90
It's
versus
90.
the 120.
Yep.
So
A little bit less, and that won't sound like much, but well, when you can only score maybe 2 goals, like, yeah, well, 2 versus 3 is a lot better. Especially if it fails, well, it still consumed the HP, so that kind of is, what you're shooting for. All right, next one, invisible shot. So it'll add 3 shoot to you, and then it has a 60% chance of turning the ball. Guess what? Invisible. Wow, it's kind of interesting. I don't think I've really ever used this. I've seen it. I think I've seen it's been done before and all that, but if your shoot is not 0, so as long as there's 1 plus on the shoot stat when the ball reaches the goal, you have 2 seconds to steer the ball in. What do you mean steer? I've never seen this. Like, what
yeah.
do? Do you just use the stick and you can literally
Oh
actually
man.
steer the ball?
Yeah, it's hilarious. This is one of my favorite abilities. It's really hard to learn too. I think I got it mainly just through a free agent or, some other player that I
Some
picked
do
up in
start,
free
yeah.
agency. Kind of what it does is it just sort of goes into this view that's head on to the goal, and then it has like a little orb or sphere or something like that that you can move around the screen, and that's where the ball's going to go. And then
That's
it
pretty
shows you
cool,
where the
man.
goal is kind of. Yeah, it's sick. I love, honestly, invisible shot is awesome. I think some of those guys on the Killer Beast, I believe Larbite gets this one as well.
That's a pretty cool thing. So, I mean, this is just a different route. I mean, there's so many shots and stuff now, +3 just initially. So you're kind of really banking on it going invisible. So that way you can kind of get that benefit. 60% chance is a pretty decent chance.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it seems to work a lot of the times. But
Yeah.
you're right, the shoot +3, not the greatest, so you're not really gonna want to be using it just for that alone.
All right, well, another one, Jet Shot 2. So if you thought there was, well, there is. There's a Jet Shot 2. So this one it'll start showing up as a tournament reward. Apparently, I guess once Titus is level 16, at least level 16, and has learned his 3rd key technique, Anti-Venom 2. So pretty cool. Here's the thing, it's just like Jet Shot in that now, rather than 2 defenders, it will take out 3 defenders. I mean, that's insane. And just as we talked about, it has the invisible shot effect. Now, does this mean
Yeah.
that it always has the invisible shot effect?
This one, I believe it does, honestly. If I
Wow.
remember correctly using this a while ago, this one is just such a broken ability, man. It's almost hilarious.
Yeah,
Especially, when Titus gets so much HP, you could just bust out Jack Shot 2, and the HP cost too, 999. So I remember using this a lot late game, and it's just so broken. I mean, honestly, I
yeah.
I don't even think you can get more than how many defenders can he get?
You can get 4. You can get up to 4 defenders on you. So
Yeah.
you would be able to take
Oh,
out
yeah.
3 of them, and
Yeah.
then 1 left.
It's a tough one to get though because of that key technique thing, man. That
Yeah,
really I
Anti-Venom
don't
2, that's not an easy one to get.
this is the thing, like you might be level 16, which is pretty early in the game, but Anti-Venom 2 only starts to show up in abilities like players' ability list, kind of, I would say like level 15 plus in Blitzball,
Yeah.
which is a lot of blitzing. So you gotta kind of get them up to those levels.
Yeah, unless they start with it, but even then, that's if they use it, and then at that point, you would just have to be on alert and just put Venom on, and just go after them. I mean, it's not, again, these ones, it's if only you get in encounters with them, if only you can actually attack them, if only they resist your poison, it's just so situational, so it's very hard to learn. And, it has a baseline 10 shot addition, so, I mean, plus 10 on it, plus takes out 3 defenders, plus the invisible. It's nuts. I mean, it's insane. As you said, 990, so 1,000 HP cost, and you might only be able to get off like 2 a quarter because the animation is so long, but like it's just great, man.
It's such a satisfying ability too. I love how, he kicks him in the face, punches it, hits another one in the
Yeah,
face, and then they like pop back up, but they can't defend it anymore. They're just sitting there like, oh man, I'm
I
I'm
lost
dazed
my
or something.
chance.
I'm done.
Peanut song plays, boom, boom, boom. Oh man, yes. So that's a great one. I don't think I've done enough Blitzball and or been like intentional enough to actually do this. I'm waiting. All right, volley shot. We've talked about this a little bit. I just thought I'd mention it. There's different tiers to it, just like anything else. So, volley shot 2 and 3. It's essentially you shoot a goal or the ball just doesn't make it to its intended purpose or is rebounded, but it's near the opposing goal. Your player has a chance to just basically hit it, right? It's bounding off, it's a rebound, boom, kick it in. I mean, here's the thing. Volley shot itself is supposed to be 50% chance. I've had that on sometimes. It seems like it's maybe 0% chance. Like, it seems they really botched this big time.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one to get to proc, that's for sure. I never really used it, and it's even just to try and learn it, getting those situations, it just totally depends on how many times you're going to be shooting on goal or if your other forward is shooting on goal and it's getting deflected every time or something.
Let's just say, okay, we got Titus and Dado. Dado's not going to be scoring all the time on Ninrook. It might be, putting him to sleep, nap shot, it might be rebounding, and so just hypothetically on Titus, you have volley shots, so that way he just does it. But 50%, 75%, 100% are the percent chances for the tier, so if you have volley shot 3 on it, it's there. But like you said, I don't think anyone starts with that, and just learning them alone is so tough because the players on the opposite team have to be doing it on your goal, but then it's still just another, it's too situational for something that we only got 5 slots. That's one. No, I need that. I'd rather put on Napshot 3 or something.
It almost kind of lends itself to having lower shoot when you think about it too. There's always the chance that the goalie could just straight up catch it and it doesn't get deflected. And that's a whole nother thing. I don't actually even know what the percentage chance of that happening. I believe grip gloves has an effect on that as well. And most of the goalies, they usually have grip gloves. It's like one of the things, even if they don't have super goalie, they tend to have grip gloves, so that also doesn't help. I mean, it would be kind of funny, though, to do like an all volley shot, sort of just shoot like crazy see if you can get it to proc, just play around with it like that. But yeah, in a serious capacity, it's never really that worth it to me.
Agreed. Okay, our last one. This is a very interesting one. I mean, I didn't know about this until we actually started doing this Blitzball series and I started digging into Blitzball a lot more. I was like, I didn't even know this existed. So, Aurochs Spirit. All right, so the description, we'll just read it first and then we'll go ahead and dig into it. So it's plus 10 to shoot, so that's a great stat. If Dado, Bada, Letty, Jesu, and or Kipa are on the team, and then they also need to be in the playing field, right? So not this, they're warming the bench like Bada. No, they actually need to be in, you got to use them. Their shoot figures are totaled and added to the shoot bonus. So it's 10 plus that, okay? So if the goalkeeper touches, so if somehow the goalkeeper still doesn't make, still wins that battle, but if they touch it, has also a 30% sleep effect. Not quite as good as Snapshot, but still there. Dude, this is insane. So apparently only Waka can learn this. And, I mean, I've never seen it as a reward. And it's probably because he needs to have learned all 3 of his key techniques before it'll actually show up as a prize.
Yeah, I've never learned this either. I think I remember seeing it. I mean, I never used Waka, and I never got this ability. I think I even had to look up a YouTube video just to see what it looks like,
Yeah, exactly.
It's super rare, it's super hard to get, like you said, and this is a weird one because you're rewarded in this case for using the OG Aurochs, which you typically wouldn't do.
It is interesting, and so apparently it is the one that he used for the winning goal against the Sykes. Dude, and so I looked at it, so I looked at, all level 1 characters, first game. What would the stats have been then for this, right? If he used that at level 1. So if Waka used Auric Spirit at level 1 with the OG Aurochs team, his shoot would have been 38, man. 38! Okay. That will score against Nimrook. Yeah, okay, we'll give him that one. Holy cow, man.
Well, how have they never won a game?
Yeah, I mean, he's had Auric Spirit this whole time. This whole time, Waka, dude, 38 shoot, man. You're going to be scored against anything, yeah?
Yeah, but later on in the game, once he gets retired, he has amnesia. He forgets it completely.
You hit your head. It's like, yes, apparently he did hit his head, and since Toxin got to him, because, yes, you recruit him, he doesn't have Auric Spirit. It's like, dude, you used this before, man. Like, how do you not know it anymore?
But you know what? At least he can learn it again. Praise be to heaven.
Praise be to heaven, yes. I mean, how broken would the game be if he did come with that, dude? That would have
Oh
been,
man, it'd be so
oh,
funny.
that would be so
Because he,
sweet, man.
well, and when you think about it too, that would make the Orcs the best. I mean, well, one of the best teams. Like, let's be real, right? That
Oh,
shoot
dude, Waka's gonna
and
score
that
against
shoot,
anyone until late
pretty
game.
much, yeah, yeah, and their shoot's gonna increase as they level up, and
Yep.
that's crazy, man.
Uh, it's cool. So interesting stat. There you go, guys. That's pretty much it. Honestly, I was looking through the techniques. I think we've covered just about all of them. There might be one or two that we didn't really go that much detail. As I said, womp womp, running out of content. We're approaching the end, my
Yep.
friends. All right, man. Well, something we're not approaching the end too, because we won't be able to get to every Blitzball player in depth. We did cover quite a few in depth in our normal series. A couple more players we want to analyze. Now, I was thinking about this. We got a few more that are quite interesting. Let's start with Brother. I think Brother's probably a very
Oh,
popular
brother.
Blitzball player. You use them.
Yeah.
I use them. I've read some comments on our posts. Other people use him and stuff. Like, he's just a great Blitzball player. And at the first, you could see why. But why did they have to make him so creepy in Final Fantasy X2, man? They soiled my opinion of the guy.
Yuna's dancing. I want to see.
I want to see. Brother just jumped
Yeah,
off. The dude jumped off an airship without a parachute just to see his cousins in a bikini. What is wrong with this guy?
Oh man, we're gonna have so much fun when we get to that one. Whatever we do, that is gonna be a wild, wild
Dude.
series for sure.
Oh, it will be.
Yeah, brother did change. I mean, I don't know. He was cool in the first one.
He
Cool
was.
in
He's totally cool. He was fine, but they made him weird. It ruined
Weird.
my opinion. But here's the thing. If you know anything about Brother, you know about his speed. Incredibly fast. He starts high, we'll get to that in a second, but he ends in 99. Okay, so he maxes out speed. He's only one of three that's even at or over 90. That would be Datto and Netis, or Netis is the other two. And then Netis and Brother, they're the only two at 99. So I mean, he's in, he's up the top. There's no other company with him, and we've talked about this. Speed is king. It really, really is. What does 99 speed even look like? Okay, because I've had some players like Datto gets into the low 70s pretty quickly, and you move them and you're like, whoa, man. You're like, this is way faster. So what's 99 like? Holy cow.
Oh man. Best way to see it is just look up a YouTube video because it's like you can get to the goal so quickly. It's hilarious. I honestly don't remember if I ever got him up to speed 99, but I know I had him up like near the 80s, like level 40s, 50s.
Yeah.
Where he's got 80, 83 speed. Let me tell you, man, this is why I say, and you pretty much just hit the nail on the head with speed is king. It doesn't even matter that he only has whatever his shoot is, 20 something, or whatever.
Right.
Because he could just break away from everybody, so it really doesn't matter. And just shoot on goal constantly.
And it's so easy to abuse, on our user end, where you can just go and bait them and kind of just move slightly, and then just jam all the way to the goal, and suddenly there's no one there because you got 99 speed.
Yeah, I mean, even before that, even with like you said, when Datto starts getting higher speed, once you get up to the 70 range, you can get away from a lot of situations.
Yeah.
If you get into like a bad situation, you're not going to get into an encounter unless you really like hit them head on or something like that.
Starting out, he's got fantastic stats, which is why you've probably used him before. He's got 75 speed, so that's where he starts at. That's really fast starting. That's like a lot of the Guado around there. That's a fantastic place to start. 8 endurance, 6 attack, 14 pass, highlight, 13 block, highlight, and 14 shoot. Based on this, you'll probably want to use him as a forward. I mean, he's got 14 shoot, 8 endurance is high enough that you're good, you're set. And also that pass and block's going to really help you in case you do get into some kind of shaky, situations, you maybe pass over. And with the speed and block, he's going to be, oh my gosh, a huge addition.
Yeah, he's actually got surprisingly good stats, right? I mean, his block gets up to 18 by level 5, which is insane. So actually, I mean, honestly, his block is one of the best stats.
Yeah.
Pass is also really good, gets up to 17. His endurance picks up quickly as well. By level 10, it's already at 15. Level 15, it's up at 18.
Yeah, so the endurance grows nicely. It seems
quickly.
about one a level is pretty much what it is. And Yeah, like you mentioned, by level 15, I mean he's doing pretty good. You still probably want him in center. As a forward, like his shoot didn't grow that much. It's like 17ish from 14, so it didn't grow much, but it's still high. That's still a really high amount. It 23 block by level 15, so I mean it's crazy.
Another thing too, notice with brother, key techniques, sphere shot. So that's actually a big deal because that means he can at least learn it. You know, a lot of teams do use it. The Ronso tend to use sphere shot quite a bit, so it's one that you'd actually have a lot of opportunities to learn.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool that he can learn that. Comes with a variety of abilities as well. That's what's also nice. You can put Wither Shot too on him right off the bat. Venom Pass, Wither Pass, even Wither Tackle. It's
Yeah,
pretty nice.
I mean, seriously,
Anti-Venom
like
too.
once you get 3 shots, you can just put a whether pass, tackle, and shot on him.
Yeah.
He is effective all around.
Yep. Plus, with his pass, gets him out of a lot of trouble. You are right, like sort of lackluster shoot growth, unfortunately, and that's the one thing because you can imagine if his shoot did grow a lot more than that,
it'd be scary.
then he'd be
Oh
broken.
man,
Yeah, he'd be broken. So that's kind of the one thing. But pass and block almost are like step in step with their growth all the way through, and very very good in the early stages.
they are. Well, level 30, his speed does increase, but it's only by like 3 at this point, so it's 78. So a lot of that gain comes kind of towards the end. Endurance is still good, 28. Attack, and it's growing. It's at least going. Went from 6, 10, now we're at 16 at level 30. Pass is going 31. 29 blocks, slowing down. Shoot again, it's just real slow. 20. The shoot just doesn't really grow. I'd probably think around level 30ish, maybe like in the 30 to 40 range. Generally moving to like probably center because just the shoot's not growing as much and the speed is great. Well, but goalies are getting there. You know what I mean? Like goalies can at least negate if your shoot stat isn't over catch. There's nothing you can really do with speed.
By level 50, his speed increases to 83. So it's kind of funny. This is where the speed really starts to increase quite a bit. Endurance has actually gotten all the way up to 39. Attack is getting way up there now, 25. Pass, not so much, but pass and block start to calm down. So it all sort of goes reciprocal, right? So when some stats start to slow down, other stats start to pick up. We're seeing that with the speed and endurance and attack.
The stats at 50 aren't bad, but they're kind of slowing down, right? That growth isn't really there. I mean, all this growth hasn't been there, and so now it's kind of really making his high stats that were great and didn't grow, they're starting to get past. And so as far as like the role goes of like center or forward, there's going to be a lot better players at this point, but that speed really does make up for a lot. We talked about the kind of harassing, right? I mean, he's going to be getting to scrums and following you around and just really you get the ball. I mean, this block is still pretty good. We're assuming he's going to be with others in these encounters, right? Just not on his own. So at max, obviously, we already hinted 99 speed. I mean, that's the crazy thing. It starts to just really increase. He's a kind of a late bloomer in the speed. But other than that, though, I don't know. There's not really much to talk about at level 99. Attack is decent. It's at 54. So that's okay-ish at defender. If you put him at center, which I think he's probably truly geared towards center at this point at max. I think that attack's fine, but attack and speed, that's kind of it that I'm really all impressed with.
99 speed though, man. You can't, you know, I mean,
Not gonna be able to shake him.
quad 9 HP, 99 speed. That is an awesome stat. One of only 2 players in the entire game, right? That has
Yeah.
that.
And if it all comes down to it, just know that he wanted tattoos that displayed him being on fire. Like literally his whole body is on fire. Arms.
Yeah, he went crazy with
torso.
the flame tattoos there.
I want to be on
Yeah.
fire. And they're like, all right, whatever. And so Buddy did it. All right, well, there's one other player I want to talk about. And honestly, I think we did forget to mention her in our story episode. I was like, I really don't think she's found at the Thunder Plains Travel Agency. And I was like, I don't think we talked about her at all because I think we only talked about the story. And, I don't know how you pronounce this name. Now, I know how I want to pronounce this name because I just like having fun with it, but I like saying, and you do too, because you said it before we recorded. Mifurey. It's Mifurey, man. I'm angry. Mifurey. Could be Mifurey. I mean, Mifurey. I mean, I don't really know. Mifurey is what I like to say because it's like, Mifurey.
Mifurey makes sense, actually. That makes a lot of sense. She's pretty interesting, right? I'm sitting here looking at the player card. I like that outfit. That's pretty hilarious. You know, Final Fantasy X fashion. They all have like these like
Aprons.
shoulderless. Well, yeah, the aprons, but also the shoulderless sleeves. It's
Yeah,
just like tied
the
to her
floating
arm at two.
sleeves.
Yeah, like you said though, Thunder Plains. I mean, this is a player I don't think anybody really looks at.
Here's the thing. She is the slowest player in the game. She starts with 20 speed. 20. That's insanely slow. Netis or Netus, whatever, he's at 30, okay? And so he's already got her beat. I've never used her, but after playing the Ronso, and you played my all Ronso save as well, they have 40 speed. I don't want to play 20 speed. 40 was rough enough as it is, man. I don't want to play 20 speed.
I can just imagine her. The funniest thing about when they have 20 speed is that the animation is exactly the same, but they're barely moving.
Oh my
It's just
gosh, I
like,
know. They're working like 4 times as hard for the same speed
yeah,
there, yes.
it's like, you know what, my furry, you just need to figure out how to swim faster or something. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly,
And
like,
it's drop those
this is
lead bars out
ridiculous.
of your pockets. What are you doing? Like, no, it's pretty hilarious because, like, again, while I've never recruited her and used her, the AI loves to because, well, we'll get to why. Her stats aren't bad, but they always like to put her in center. And so you'll go against and it'll be Mifurey gets it and you're like, oh, okay. You just laugh because all 3 of your players get to her, no problem, and just take her out instantly. It's like,
Get
pass it.
swamped.
Why are you holding onto it and swimming so slowly?
Yeah, the AI will make, or the RNG will make the worst
Charging
decisions
up
with
the
that.
front.
Yeah, it's pretty rough too. I can't say I've ever used my furry either late game, which we'll talk about in a little bit. There is actually a case to be made, which is
Sure.
interesting because again, she starts out so terrible. But what's really bad about this situation is that her speed stays 20 up until level
Oh,
10. Yeah, I mean, so like you can just imagine using her. Her speed isn't even increasing. Her shoot is really good. That's the best thing. But it's going to be so difficult to get shots off anyways. I mean, it starts at 10. And actually goes up by 9 points for the first 10 levels. That's insane. But again, with 20 speed, kind of hard to deal with that.
yeah, I mean, so that's the thing. Like, starting out, she's got 8 endurance, 10 shoot. So, like, you're thinking forward, and she would excel at that. She also has 8 attack, so that's not bad either. But you're not gonna. I don't know what you're gonna do with that. You're not gonna be able to get anywhere. Like, you're not gonna be able to
That's going to be the big
move
issue.
her.
Yeah.
I'll get to some possible scenarios here, and we'll get to some strategy here in a second. But just looking at stat wise, pretty strong, but just the speed's gonna ruin it. So level 15, as you just allude to, I mean, shoot's great. 23 shoot by level 15 and 17 endurance. So she's a strong forward. Also, 12 attack, so that attack grew, and 15 pass. Her pass grew big time too. So it's like, this is actually looking pretty good, stat wise. If you didn't see the shoot and you're just looking at stats, like, dang, this is a good player, I mean, she is.
She really is. And oh, so another thing that I think really works against her, though, I do have to call this out real quick because I did just notice. Salary being 600 gil a game is kind
Yes.
of ridiculous as well. I mean,
Yes.
we've been talking about a lot of players that are 210, right? And
600. Whew.
if you're building our kind of teams, I just don't really understand why that's worth it.
That's
Again, maybe
expensive.
late game. Yeah, exactly. I just feel like, it's a late game player if she's been leveled up. Otherwise, I wouldn't even want to deal with it because you're looking at 60 levels of just passing back and forth to her to
Oh,
level her up to
yes.
the point where
Yeah.
she's actually somewhat useful. But regardless, her stats do grow a lot, other than speed.
Things keep growing. I mean, level 30, she's doing pretty good. She actually has 35 shoot, which is more than Titus at this point. The other stats are kind of starting to either slow down or develop into more of a center role, probably why the game already kind of puts her there in the beginning. Pass starts increasing a little bit more. Endurance is always a really good stat, and so that's one of her few that really grows. Same with pass. Those two continuously grow. Thing is even at level 50, okay? Even level 50, her speed is only 32. This is nuts, guys. That's a lot of Blitzball. And then we'll take it even further. It's like level 70-ish that you're getting up to Ronso level. You've just reached 44 at level 70. That's not enough. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, this is an absurd amount of Blitzball. And like you said, other than maybe a few tactics I'm about to lay out that would have to be tested, you're gonna just have to be passing back and forth with her. That's That's going to be it. That's the only way you're going to be able to get her experience, because she is never going to be able to get into position. She's slow as molasses uphill in the winter, guys. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, goals would be the best way if you could even get them off.
Yeah.
With her endurance being what it is up until, I mean, even up to level 50,
Yeah.
right? It ends up at 43 at that point. That's not that great. I mean, you're talking about a couple of defenders. 2 defenders can probably take the ball from her at 43 anyways, so that's not that great. Shoot is 47 though, so that's also pretty. So she could score. It's one of those things. Again, she's gonna be able to get around the defenders.
Yeah, get through the onslaught. And well, so there is some light at the end of the tunnel. Max level, she actually has, you wouldn't believe it, 69 speed. And you'd be like, how'd that happen? Well, at around like level, like I kind of mentioned, 70 of 44, it starts to actually kind of increase a little bit, about 8 every 10 levels. So boom, 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 gets you 69. And so that is the silver lining with her. At level 99, she's actually a pretty darn good player. But oh my gosh, please don't put in the work with it for her. It's not going to be worth it.
That's the thing. If some other team, at level 80, she's got 52 speed. Level 90, she's got 60. So right then, so it takes you basically 90 levels to even get to normal player speed. She turns into such a freaking beast in endurance and pass. It's insane. So not only does she have actually slightly above average speed at the end there, she ends up with 88 endurance.
Yeah, that's a great amount.
And 89 pass.
Yeah, 89 pass and 52 attack and block. You're kind of like, yeah, this is a great center. The shoot a little bit lower, which is why maybe not in the forward, but she has 59 shoot. And again, kind of like talked about, well, with some shots, say sphere shot, an additional 20, that gets you up to 79. You're going to score on most goalies, so she could even maybe still be in the forward spot with 69 speed, like you said, a little bit faster in these stats. But it's just a shame that this isn't useful to like level 90. Level 90. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
The one saving grace that Mifurey has is she starts off with Tackle Slip 2. This might be what they were thinking, but I can tell you what'll happen with that. You'll slip on tackle, or she'll get disoriented, and then it's not going to help you. So, especially with these speeds, if she's getting consistently 3-on-1 encounters.
Yeah.
I can't remember the rate on that, but isn't it like a 60%?
Well, and it also costs HP, so you're gonna run out of HP after you're gonna make it.
That's that's another good point. Her HP isn't particularly good either, and even at level 99, not very high. It's 7,631.
The people who ever designed all these characters stuff, like they like to have their glaring weaknesses in some characters and stuff. And it's like sometimes like, oh, that sucks. But like speed is just like not the stat to mess with for giggles. You know what I mean? Like it just completely makes them useless. You can't even use them because you can't get into position at all. Maybe you could do such things as like mark Mifurey on the goalie, right? And then you go into mark mode for your formation. Maybe she just swims to the goalie every time and then you pass and she does it. The problem, I was even thinking about that though. I was like, okay, that would probably be the only way. I mean, you could do left side as well. Maybe that, that kind of gets the same effect. The thing is that she's so slow though that it will still take her forever to get there. So you'll have to just be passing the ball back and forth as you wait for Mifurey to get to the goal. She's just swim there. You're like 3 minutes in. It's like, oh my gosh, she finally made it to the goal. Here we go.
Yeah, I know, right? Just takes forever. Crazy.
If you could pick her up at level 90, she is a great player. She is. She's a little bit more expensive, but she's another one of those good centers, just kind of like where we've been talking about for a while. That is going to do it for us on this episode. We're thinking we'll definitely have one more Blitzball episode, maybe 2. We'll kind of see how it goes. It's been a lot of fun going through this as always and just talking about all the players. And dude, it's been a blast putting this together.
Oh yeah, it's always so much fun. I love looking into the players because it just makes me think about the times that I played through 10 as well. I never even looked at these players.
There's 60 players, so I mean, like, there's so much variety here and so much, and yeah, one of my favorite games. We'll of course analyze it more and stuff towards the very end here, but of course you guys can check us all out. We're at Final Stop, FinalFantasyTalks.com. We just got their little Blitzball corner there, lots of info on it, all the stuff we kind of just been putting together and used during these episodes as we talk about players and all that. So check that out. We also have an Instagram, so we'll post little things here and there and, participate in the conversation, talk about Blitzball if you enjoy it as much as we do. I know it's few far in between, but man, they're out there. People do like Blitzball.
Yeah, there are some real Blitzball fanatics. I mean, we're definitely a couple of them, seriously.
Seriously. All right, well, we'll catch you all in the next episode. I'm Mark.
I'm Alex.
And this is Final Stop for Final Fantasy Talks.